Okay, what we got going here is this elk. We're going to do a finishing tape on an elk. We've done a lot of work on it already. It's all dried up. It's been drying for a good month or so. Elk take a long time to dry out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start finishing it. One of the first things we do is we start pulling pins. Now a lot of people don't pin around the mouth like this. They just depend on their glue to hold it. I don't. Sometimes your glue will, sometimes it won't. What I do is I pull all the pins out. We'll just go ahead and do this quickly. And I'll show you what else we do. We'll get those pins pulled. These are what they call quilting pins. They're pretty good pins. I've tried about everything else, and you go through so many of them, I just kind of figured into the price of doing mounts. You can get 2 or 3 uses out of them. The chemicals start to react with them, and sometimes they can get a little weak. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do that there, and show you just that. Get this stuff done. I'd get up on a bucket, but I'd probably fall off of it, so we don't want to see any accidents on film here. Anyway, we've had some requests for this video. They're pretty much just like doing an oversized deer. Not a lot to them. I mean, you know, all the finishing work is kind of tedious, but what I do here is get these pins out. Make sure it looks good. We'll build up a bottom lip if we have to. I'll show you how to do that once we get this baby turned over where you can see him. My deer stands won't hold these, so I do everything off of the table here. I just wrestle them around. I don't get a lot of elk in every year. I get some every year, though. So I should build a big stand, but I don't. Most people don't have one anyway. Okay, now I got that. I put pins in the ears too to hold them in place while they're drying. I make my own. You just twist those a little bit and then loosen them up. And then we'll just go ahead and pull those out. Kind of like make my own pins. And what you want to do, check both ears, get your pins out. Here's another one. Now, I got some small pins around the eyes in the tear duct, so we want to get those out because they'll shine. Get them out far enough so you can get at them with the pliers. There we go. I'd pin these up just like a deer. The corner, the inside of the eyelid, and that, well, I showed you how to do that when we did this, so anyway, what we'll do is we'll get these pins out. I took the carding off the ears a couple days ago. Something about elk ears, they just, you would think they'd be tough, but these goddamn things, I end up sewing them all the time because they just seem to tear easier than deer ears. Now figure that out. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right, does it? Anyway, what we do is we just pull these out wherever you have a staple, and then we'll paint the inside of that in the eye here. Right there. See, while this was drying, I put a little bit of epoxy sculpt in the tear duct area. I wanted to see what it. I had some left over from another project, so what I did is used it here. Just take the sharp edge of your knife and scrape that eye. Get the glue off, the dried glue. If you forget to do it when it's damp or wet still with a Q-tip, you can do it this way. This makes it a little bit harder, but sometimes I'll tell you what, you're just so tired after wrestling these around that sometimes you just don't feel like, you just forget about it is what happens, and then you end up having to do this here. And I'm just, that's some tough glue right there. That's that Reinhardt glue. I think John Reinhardt, or no, this is McKenzie glue here. I'll tell you what, that's pretty good stuff. It gets in there and it gets hard right away. We'll just take and wet it a little bit and see what happens there. Get some of that off of there, and then we'll go to this other eye here. We got that eye pretty close to being where we get ready for. Same thing here, you got the glue in here. Want to get the glue out, dig it out, because we want to get that where we can fill that in with the epoxy sculpt, make a nice smooth transition. You'll see when we do it. A lot of it isn't real finesse work, you know. I mean, not right now anyway. A lot of times things don't start looking good till the very end when you start getting your coats of paint on there and stuff like that. So let me get a Q-tip with some hot water and we'll see what happens here. Got a couple of them here. Then we'll just go ahead and wet that and see how it looks. Doesn't look too bad. A little booger hanging up right here. I'll go ahead and get that out of there. Okay. That's not looking too bad, that eye right there. I got a little stuff around there. Damn. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to use our epoxy sculpt. I already filled in the nose cap up inside the nostrils with some extra that I had over from another project, so we won't be using a whole lot of this, but you'll see this here. It's just, like I say, it's just like doing a deer. We're going to go ahead and build the bottom lip up. We're going to go ahead and do the eye here. We're going to do the eye up here, and then I'll tilt this down and we'll get my tool here. Modeling tools like this here. I should have, if you're really gonna get serious about taxidermy, I think if I had to do it all, when mine wear out, I'll go ahead and get some stainless steel ones or something the next time. Plastic's okay, but the reason I didn't get them before is I have a tendency to lose things. Sometimes when you're using them, you'll set them down and they end up disappearing, and I think what happens is they end up going with some of your byproducts out of the shop. Anyway, what we do is just roll little rolls of this out like so, and just put that right up in the corner here of the eye. Let's see if I can get this turned around.